Hey everyone, welcome to GT Boxing. Today we're continuing our series The Fight That Ended a Career. Unfortunately, many legendary fighters, despite big wins over elite opponents, rarely get to walk away from the sport on a high note. It's incredibly hard to step away when you're still basking in the spotlight, with a legacy behind you and respect from the entire boxing world. For many, boxing is a way of life, and simply telling yourself, enough, is harder than it sounds. Our featured fighter today, in my opinion, stayed just a little too long. In this video, we'll talk about one of the most famous American boxers of his generation, a six-division world champion, Oscar De La Hoya, a true boxing superstar, who today continues to make waves as a successful promoter. But what was the fight that truly marked the end of his legendary career? Let's take a deep dive and relive those moments together. Before we begin, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It helps us grow and keeps the boxing history alive. All right, let's get into it. Born February 4th, 1973 in Montebello, California, Oscar came from a proud Mexican-American family. His grandfather, Vicente De La Hoya, moved the family from Mexico to Los Angeles in 1956. Vicente was an entrepreneur with a background in amateur boxing and laid a stable foundation for the future generations. Oscar's father, Joel De La Hoya, was a solid amateur who medaled twice at the national level and even had a taste of the pro game. He eventually stepped away from fighting and, in 1970, met Cecilia, Oscar's mother. Oscar grew up watching his older brother train in the gym, but he was initially drawn to baseball, not boxing. Violence didn't come naturally to him, but the family's fighting spirit and the incentive of prize money lit a fire in young Oscar. And soon, there was no turning back. Amateur to prodigy Oscar had an impressive amateur record: 223 fights, 153 wins, many by stoppage, and just 5 losses. His biggest achievement? Olympic gold in 1992 at the Barcelona Games, where he beat Germany's Marco Rudolph in the final, and dedicated the medal to his late mother. Shortly after the Games, the Golden Boy turned pro and signed with Top Rank. In November 1992, he made his debut, blowing out Lamar Williams in under a round, and earning a staggering $200,000 for the performance. De La Hoya had the full package: talent, charisma, and an elite physical frame. His natural size and proportions allowed him to move up weight classes seamlessly, without sacrificing speed or power. He started at super featherweight and would eventually climb all the way to middleweight, winning world titles in 6 divisions along the way. The rise. In March 1994, in just his 12th pro fight, 21-year-old Oscar captured the WBO super featherweight title, stopping Jimmy Bradal in round 10. Later that year, he moved up to lightweight and knocked out WBO champ John Molina in just 2 rounds. Then came light welterweight. 1996. He dominated the legendary Julio Cesar Chavez. A doctor stopped the fight due to swelling and cuts on Chavez's face. Oscar walked away with the WBC title. In 1997, he moved to welterweight, beat Hector Camacho, and became the consensus pound-for-pound king. But then came the first major controversy, the infamous showdown with Felix Trinidad. Billed as the fight of the millennium, Oscar lost a highly debated majority decision that still sparks debate to this day. The fall begins. On June 23, 2001, De La Hoya outclassed WBC light middleweight champ Javier Castillejo, claiming yet another division. He later moved up to middleweight to fight WBO title holder Felix Sturm. Sturm landed more punches, but somehow, the judges gave the nod to Oscar. Then came Bernard Hopkins, the undisputed WBC WBA and IBF champ. They fought in Las Vegas. In round 9, Hopkins landed a brutal left hook to the liver. Oscar went down and stayed down. That was his first knockout loss. Hopkins made history by becoming the first man to unify all 4 major belts. Oscar returned to light middleweight and bounced back strong, stopping Ricardo Mayorga in dominant fashion. He dropped him early and finished the job in round 6, the final years. On May 5, 2007, Oscar faced Floyd Mayweather Jr. It was a true clash of eras. Despite being older, De La Hoya pressured Mayweather, pinned him to the ropes, and made it competitive. But Floyd won by split decision. Interestingly, Oscar's stock didn't drop. In fact, he looked good enough to beat Steve Forbes in May 2008 in what many thought was a tune-up for a Floyd rematch. But the end was coming. Originally, Oscar wanted a rematch with Mayweather, but Floyd had retired. Then talks started with Ricky Hatton, but that fell through. And so, the opponent was set: Manny Pacquiao. The date: December 6, 2008. Odds makers still favored Oscar. William Hill had him at 1.44 odds to win. Pacquiao, 2.6. Fight night: the end of an era. Before the fight, Pacquiao said, "I never imagined I'd share the ring with a superstar I used to look up to. But I've grown, I've matured, and I know I can beat him." Oscar responded, "This is going to be an explosive fight. I'm in great shape and ready to trade." At the weigh-in, De La Hoya, 145 pounds, 65.7 kilograms. Pacquiao, 142 pounds, 64.4 kilograms. From round 1, it was clear: size doesn't beat speed, timing, and IQ. Pacquiao didn't just win, he dismantled him. He slipped under Oscar's jab and exploded with combinations. He attacked from angles, circled out, and returned with even more punches. Even Oscar's jab, once his signature, was getting beaten at its own game. By round 5, Oscar's face was swollen. By round 7, he stopped throwing. By round 8, he was a ghost, leaning against the ropes, absorbing punishment. He never went down. He was never knocked out. But the corner, including Tony Morganti and Nacho Barristan, stopped it between rounds 8 and 9. They showed mercy. Final punch stats: Pacquiao, 224 landed, 195 power punches. De La Hoya, 83 landed, 51 power punches. Aftermath: Oscar admitted, "He was just the better man. I did everything I could, but training is not the same as fighting. My heart still wants to go on, but my body says no. It's time to think about the future." And that was it. The end of a legend. The curtain fell on the Golden Boy. But his story didn't end there. He launched Golden Boy Promotions, became one of boxing's biggest promoters, and helped build a new generation of stars. What do you think of Oscar De La Hoya's career? Would he be elite in today's era? Drop your thoughts in the comments. That's it for today's episode. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next breakdown. Thanks for watching GT Boxing. See you in the next one.